Welcome, friends. I'm Andy, the storyteller. Today I have another fun adventure to share from Farmer Brown's Dinosaur Farm. So grab your favorite stuffy and find a nice quiet spot. We're about to take a trip to Farmer Brown's Dinosaur Farm. It was a cold, crisp Christmas Eve on Farmer Brown's Dinosaur Farm. The stars were out, the fire crackled in the fireplace, and visions of sugar plums danced in the heads of triceratopses. It's a little-known fact, but triceratopses love plums. Farmer and Mrs. Brown sat in their chairs, warming their toes by the roaring fire. Their family had come to eat dinner earlier in the evening and sing carols, but now they were alone, relaxing by the fire. Rover the dog was already asleep, curled up on the rug. Just as they closed their eyes, there arose such a clatter that Farmer Brown sprang from his chair to see what was the matter. Farmer Brown threw open the door to see Santa Claus standing on his front porch.
"Merry Christmas, John!"
Farmer Brown stared in amazement. He had never seen Santa before. Mrs. Brown came to the door to see what was going on.
"Merry Christmas, Ellen!"
Mrs. Brown's jaw dropped. She had never seen Santa before either. There was a moment of awkward silence as Santa wasn't sure what to do as two grown adults were staring at him.
I need your help,"
Santa said to break the ice. "Sure," said Farmer Brown. "What can we do?" Santa explained that 5 of his reindeer had gotten off the hitch in town. It was all Santa could do to land on Farmer Brown's farm with the other 3. Santa had to keep going, so he wanted to see if Farmer Brown could help and let him use 5 dinosaurs to complete his run. "Well, Santa," said Farmer Brown, "I mostly have big dinosaurs, but the only 5 small ones I have are—" Farmer Brown stopped talking and his eyes widened. "Oh no," said Mrs. Brown. "John, we can't do that. That's not a good idea." Santa looked at the Browns, nervously smiling. Finally, Farmer Brown said, "I got 5 dinosaurs that are small enough to fit on the hitch of your sleigh, but they're, velociraptors." 15 minutes later, the Browns had hitched 5 sleepy and confused raptors to the front of Santa's sleigh. Ranger let out a big yawn. Hitched to Santa's sleigh were 3 majestic reindeer with sleigh bell harnesses, and then 5 goofy-looking turkey dinosaurs. It was a sight. Santa explained that his magic could make any animal fly at Christmas. Santa reached into his sleigh and gave Mrs. Brown a snow globe. He explained that when she shook it, it would show them where the reindeer were. It was their job to find them and bring them back to the farm. Then he climbed up into his sleigh and cracked the reins.
"Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer, now Ranger, now other 4 raptors, let's go!"
The sleigh climbed into the clear night sky and vanished. Mrs. Brown shook the snow globe, and the first reindeer appeared in a very familiar location. In the next neighborhood, Santa and the raptors landed at the first house. Santa rushed inside with his pack. The 3 reindeer stood still as they'd visited countless homes over the years. In the yard was a Christmas tree with twinkly lights. One of the raptors bit the tree and knocked it over. As Santa rushed back outside, he saw the toppled tree. He ran to pick it up, and when he came back, he noticed one of the other raptors' head was stuck in a flower pot. Santa pulled the flower pot off and tumbled back, knocking the Christmas tree over again. Santa sighed. It was going to be a long night. Meanwhile, back in town, the Browns and their dog Rover arrived at the Shake Shack. They had hitched a large trailer to the back of the truck to transport the 5 missing reindeer. Currently, Vixen was trying to get through the drive-through window of the Shake Shack just like Patty did. "Boy, am I glad to see you, Farmer Brown," squeaked a familiar voice. Taylor, the Shake Shack manager, was fending off the reindeer. "He smells our eggnog milkshake," Taylor explained. "My grandpa told me that reindeer can't resist eggnog." That gave Farmer Brown an idea. Taylor and Farmer Brown rolled 2 large barrels of eggnog ice cream into the trailer. They didn't have to do anything else. Vixen walked right in and started licking the sweet treat. "Well, that was easier than last time," said Taylor. Not far away, Santa and the Raptors were moving from house to house. So far, the Raptors had knocked over a Christmas tree, gnawed a garden gnome, unplugged an inflatable gingerbread man, and tried to eat a decorative metal candy cane. Santa was moving, but not at the pace he was used to. He hoped that the Browns were doing better. Back in town, the Browns and Rover were on a roll. They had already gathered Vixen at a car wash. Comet was at the movie theater. Cupid was around back of the House of Waffles, and Donner was in the mayor's yard. The last one was Blitzen. Mrs. Brown shook the snow globe to see where the last reindeer was. She looked in and smiled. Farmer Brown's truck came to a slow stop in front of Ebenezer Baptist Church. On the lawn was Blitzen standing in the life-size nativity scene. He looked as if he belonged among the decorations. In the air, the words of Silent Night drifted like snow. The church was having a midnight service, and the music and the people singing inside could be heard outside. In the trailer, the other reindeer stopped moving and listened. In the crazy moments of the night, the Browns paused to listen too. In all of the presents, the eggnog and surprises, there was a moment of peace. When the song was over, Blitzen walked right to the trailer with the rest of the reindeer. Back at the farm, the Browns watched the sky. In the distance, the sound of jingling bells grew louder. In a grand display of driving, Santa landed his sleigh on the dirt road with 3 reindeer and 5 very tired velociraptors.
Ho, ho, ho! Thanks for finding my reindeer.
"It was no trouble, Santa," said Farmer Brown. "Did the raptors give you a hard time?" Santa paused for a moment and then smiled.
"It wasn't anything I couldn't handle."
Quickly, the Browns and Santa got the raptors back in their pen and the reindeer hitched to the sleigh. Everything was ready to go. Mrs. Brown tried to give the snow globe back to Santa, but he insisted that she keep it. Santa explained that at Christmas, if she shook the snow globe, it would show her where he was anywhere in the world. With that, Santa cracked the reins.
"Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, Donner and Blitzen."
With that, the sleigh charged forward in a gust of wind and flew up into the night sky.
"Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
All was calm as the Browns and Rovers stood still in the silence of the night. The next morning, the Browns woke up and got ready. Before going to visit family, Farmer Brown had to feed the dinosaurs. Still tired from the long night before helping Santa, he was shocked by what he saw in the raptor pen. Inside, Santa had left the raptors new tractor tires for them to jump on. There were new crates for them to play on, and there was a large sack of beef jerky. On the bag was a note that read, "For Santa's very special helpers." The end. I hope you enjoyed this story. Today's podcast was very special for us. In this story, there were 3 different voices. My dad and my son were in this episode with me. Christmas is about celebrating and being with family. We hope you and your family have a happy holiday season and a very Merry Christmas. Make sure to ask your parents to follow Farmer Brown's Dinosaur Farm so you hear more stories from the farm. We'd love to know what you think of our show. Follow us on Facebook and let us know. Just search for Farmer Brown's Dinosaur Farm. If you would like to send us a letter, email us at farmerbrowndinos@gmail.com. This show is brought to you by The Secure Dad. Parents can learn new ways to live safer, happier lives at thesecuredad.com.